everybody. Welcome to a spring 2014 SWAT review. My name is Kate, otherwise known as Narataki.
And I'm Alan, otherwise known as C-Suite.
We are from ReverseThieves.com, and you can go there to get other SWAT reviews, our monthly Speakeasy podcast, as well as 3+ blog posts every week.
This time we are looking at Black Bullet from Kinema Citrus, and it is streaming on Crunchyroll.
And in this story, the world has had this virus spread across it, and it turns people into monsters, and it infects people, and so then there was like a war.
But there are only a few surviving cities because there's this one special metal that can injure the infected creatures, and it also seems to keep them away. So they have these giant walls that keep out the bug monsters, although sometimes an infected person will wander in and cause an outbreak.
Well, there's not walls, they're just pillars of them. So I kind of feel like if there were walls, maybe they'd be safer, but maybe they just can't find enough of the material in order to erect such things. Anyway, so our main character, he is a civil servant is what they call him, but really he gets called in to take care of these monsters when they appear because the regular police force doesn't have the tools to deal with them. These civil servants also have these, I don't know what to call them. They're not a familiar, but they have a partner who we find out kind of later in the episode is basically a baby born
from a mother who was infected, so they have a milder version of the virus that doesn't eat them as quickly, so they can take these shots so that they don't turn into a full monster, but still have some of the monstrous powers.
And so they team up together and work on getting rid of these monsters across the city. The way that the show was presented, like, I wasn't disinterested. I was kind of curious about the world, and I think we've seen a lot of these kind of infected turns into monster sort of things, so that's not, special. But the guy, he is competent but not great, which was nice, and they kind of acknowledge that, like, oh, well, you got him, but you're such a terrible shot, and, kind of you waste some of our resources a little bit because you're not as good as you could be, and
he needs improvement, but he has potential.
But I feel like he's not just like the total noob. Like, he took out that monster with his partner in the first episode. So, he's got some personality. Like, before we even started the episode, we saw like these pictures of him, and it's like, oh man, is he going to be like one of those like super cold, confident characters that has like no personality, but they're really competent, so people think they're really cool or something, which he didn't end up being. Like, he ends up running away from the crime scene to go to the sale at the grocery store. He has a relationship with the president of his
company.
Yeah, they're like kind of freelance civil servants to take care of these things. So he has like a past with her, and he's taking care of this half monster girl. But that was the thing that just sent the episode right off the edge for me. The little girl, who is actually a little girl, like, it's not like, oh, let's pretend that she's actually older or anything. No, she's like literally a elementary schooler. And she's in love with him, which would be fine if the show didn't make it seem like that was like a potential love interest, and everyone else in the show being like, so, you're so much happier now that she's around. Nudge, nudge, nudge.
And the fact that she's always like a little more flowery versions of, so when are we gonna screw?
No, why did you have to do this? Like, if she was more of like a sister character, or like a, more like he had this familial sibling relationship with her, I think that it actually, could have been nice, because it could have had like I feel like it could have been a kind of a sweeter relationship, but they just kind of throw it into like whatever that territory is.
Well, even if she was like, one day I'm gonna marry you, in a cute, innocent way.
Exactly.
Not like, so, when are we gonna do this thing?
And there's like that whole scene where she's sitting at the table in a towel, and he's like, put on pants! Like, am I supposed to find this hilarious? Because I do not.
The one thing is, when he initially goes to, like, the first mission we see him on, he goes into this apartment where one of the monsters that's attacked And there's this guy in a mask and pretty much a ringmaster's outfit. And he doesn't seem to be infected, but he does definitely seem to be monstrous.
Oh, yeah, because he, like, kicks him, but then he, like, is able to turn his head all the way around and stuff.
And he's all, oh, I'm not one of the monsters, but I did kill these police officers. And they have a battle, and then he escapes. And he's like, oh, man, but I got to get the infected first before it, infects even more people. And then he never tells anybody about that guy.
That was weird. It's like, it seems important. He did say he was going to destroy the world and seemed to have the power possibly to do so.
Definitely seemed to be on the side of the monsters. Maybe, he didn't have to tell the police, but he at least should have casually thrown that out to the head of the company or the scientist lady he visits. Just, hey, have you heard anything about twisted superhumans who are working with the monsters?
Also, as we mentioned, there's these, like, little kids that are half monster. Well, also, there's only little girls. For some reason. I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be some explanation of why that is. But at the end, the guy, like, looks across the bay, and it looks like sort of a, like a different part of the city. And there's all these, children standing on the edge of the bay looking out. And very forlorn. I guess they don't get to be, they haven't been chosen or whatever to be people's part. I don't know.
She did mention that the little girl, when he takes her to school, that nobody has found out her secret yet. And she's, don't worry, I'm totally keeping it on the DL. So maybe if they find out you're one of these, half-breeds, you have to live outside of the city, and you can basically only come into the city to do your job. She's basically like an unregistered half-breed. She could still live in the city.
And she gets to go to school and such. Yeah, that's probably it. Although those children look so forlorn, I was like, man, if only they could cross. And then I was like, wait, isn't there another bridge over there that's not out? Then whatever. I don't know. I feel like the show had some potential to me, but the way that they present, especially, this half monster girl character, I was just like, nope. Like, sorry.
The door is that way, and I'm headed right through it.
I have plenty of anime to watch with plots about Into the World and, like, everything else. If that's where we're going, no thank you.
It's like, I liked Attack on Titan, but I wanted the monsters to be more bug-like, and I needed more creepy lolly touching. Then you have Black Bullet.
And that's kind of unfortunate because I felt like his relationship to the president woman seemed like there was some, like, he's clearly actually in love with her. So I was like, oh, well, that could be nice. Oh, wait, never. It almost seems, and then that we see another woman at the end, so I don't know if it's almost starting to get like a harem-y feel, and I don't know, it's just, there's other things to watch. That's pretty much my assessment.
Yeah, it did have a little bit of potential, but I was a little worried that there were less than noble parts of the show, and I was unfortunately proven right about that second impulse. All right, see you guys next time.